lack of Smoothie Rel, so I really like that ban. Similar to last game, we're getting a first pick Gragas here. We expect it to go into the hands of Finn, but we need to reiterate, especially with 11.4 on the horizon, this is still a very good flex pick. This could go top or jungle or support.
Okay, on the other side, Graves is not nearly as flexible of a pick. Will they lock him in here? Yes, they will. So Iconic piloting the Graves here in the jungle. Let's see what else they want to follow this one up with. There's still so much on the table, man. You only have 6 bans. There's plenty of top-tier picks here in the game. Yeah. Hovering over the Gnar here, going back and forth between a bunch of different top lane stuff. They already know what they think their opponent's top laner might be.
Funnily enough, we did have a top Graves game actually this year. We don't really see any reason to repeat it. Iconic is going to grab the Gangplank for his partner there. Niles and Iconic, as Golden Guardians fans will know, coming from Maryvale together, they lock in each other's pick on Valentine's. How sweet. 2 of their most played champions. Niles, Gangplank main, so he knows exactly what Niles wants. He's going to want a Gangplank, and he also likes jungle attention near the top side, which Iconic has actually been one of the most heavy farming jungles, by the way. Or one of the lowest jungle proximities of a lot of the junglers, and Graves kind of fits right into that.
Okay, so we've got the Zoe picked up as the response here from CLG. So some of that long-range burst, siege, poke, pick power that this champion is known for. And they're going to team that up with Samira's all-in diving capabilities. How we feel about this?
I feel pretty good. It's actually a combination that still leaves open the flex for support Gragas as well. So CLG, they have been known to do some tricky stuff in picks and bans. And if they want to put a harder Gangplank matchup up there, Lucian would actually be one of them. So Golden Guardians, maybe taking that away out of their hands. Or actually flaunting it as it is one of the really good picks into Kaisa that we haven't seen too much. Yet so many AD carry players will always talk to me about, oh yeah, I'll just slam this guy with the Lucian. Next time they try and early pick the Kaisa. I really have yet to see it. So going into the Samira, any of those all-ins are still always a possibility, but Golden Guardians already looking pretty AD heavy with AD jungle plus Gangplank, so they're definitely going to want some AP threat there from Ablaze coming from the mid lane, and I would expect CLG to ban out some of the biggest offenders. Zoe doesn't have any hard counter matchups, so probably just go with the AblazeOlive generalist picks for mid, Syndra and stuff like that.
Yeah, no reason not to in a situation like that. So let's see, with the Nocturne's banned away from Griffin, the Malzahar banned out. Now there is one I was not expecting to see banned here this week.
You can ult Zoe as she pops forward on the R, and it still sticks on her. So you can try and call a jungle or something like that. It's also very easy to operate and very annoying for Samira to play against. So I would say Malzahar is more of a team ban that they're banging away for team comp for them. And trying to enable Samira, because if you lock down the Samira with a Malzahar ultimate, that is going to stop everything they're trying to do with it. Plus Malzahar with the shield from his passive is actually really good into things like Gragas and Zoe that rely on those long-range pick potential abilities and kind of one-hits.
Well, so far, Golden Guardians has nothing that can interrupt Samira at all. There's no hard CC on these first 3 champions. So yeah, okay. If you reduce her health bar to 0, she should stop spinning. As long as she doesn't have a Guardian Angel. We learned this the hard way in the LEC. But she should stop spinning. So at least now we do have one answer. It's not the most reliable answer. Scatter the Weak will be able to interrupt that one. The Syndra is locked in here for Golden Guardians.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's going to happen when you don't ban it out like we were looking for in the ban phase for them, but, it's not like a super hard counter. It is good. I love, Scatter the Weak is pretty easy to land on Zoe because it is a straight shot, but you also have to dodge out on the Sleepy Trouble bubbles, so it definitely is a bit of a skill matchup there. I like the burst potential, though, and Scatter the Weak versus Samira is great. So definitely agree with the AblazeOlive answer. We did see yesterday he was going a bit turbo with his Azir Shurima Shuffle attempts in the enemy team. And so you can definitely play Syndra a lot safer. Super long range with a stun.
And we've got the Leona locked in here for CLG. I like this because it works really well with Samira, and with Nautilus and Alistar banned away, it's also the obvious team fight Samira counterpick in the support role that Golden Guardians would have liked to have for themselves. So it's a great for their comp, it's a good deny against the enemy team, and it looks like Golden Guardians will complete their roster here with a Galio in the support role. Is Syndra and Galio enough to repel Samira?
I actually think CLG have some pretty good offensive tools here. You have so many options for engage. It's very easy for Gragas for Leona, and Zoe bubbles are always going to be fishing. Meanwhile, on Golden Guardians, this is mostly defense here, right? Who's going in with the Galio? You don't have a really good delivery for the Galio. It's mostly a defensive counter-engage Galio. Somebody's got to step up on the front lines to start this one out, or it's going to be hard for Golden Guardians to play, because generally when you're against Zoe, who constantly tries to throw out poke against you, you need some way in. But they're going to hold everything for Galio ult, barrel chains, scatter to the weak when CLG try and engage on them, and Golden Guardians are going to try and get their victory that way. This could require some earlier setup on objectives, so we need to see them get priority over River very quickly with their control wards and try and get vision to set up for those objectives first. That makes this type of comp so much more effective. It's going to be really hard to play if they get behind, if they lose out on tempo or positioning, because face checking is really, really hard with that.
Yeah, when you compare and contrast engage mechanisms, you've got one team that has a Gragas and a Leona, and the other team that doesn't have anything even close to those things. You've got a nice Syndra soccer ball kick with the scatter of the weak that might be able to use to try to catch somebody slightly out of position, but true hard engage mechanisms are just not present for the Golden Guardians. You already brought it up talking about Galio. He's great for counter engage. Gangplank barrels, they're the same way. Gangplank ulti, bring it down on top of the team fight if they try to start it off. Great. But in terms of being able to decide for yourselves, this is where we fight, you can't do it very easily from a position of weakness. It's up to Golden Guardians to make sure they're playing this one strong right out the gate. But unfortunately for them, that has been what CLG has showed us so far, is that they can play the early game and develop leads.
And just Teamfight 101, the first lesson you learn is the longer range team is the one that does not have the burden of engagement on you. Because if you're longer range, you just keep throwing out poke, and you can push them off objectives. You can gain territory. You slowly move up, and it forces the shorter range team to look for a lot of these all-ins. That's why priority on these objectives is going to be so big, because with the Zoe pick in mid, that she is so much different from the rest of the champs on CLG, with her low cooldown, being able to throw out these bubbles. Should be what CLG need to have that extra factor. Now they don't have to rely on always going right into the barrel chains, into the Galio combination. I think they definitely have the possibilities of setting up first. Plus, I'm glad, keep setting up the Gragas flex. Boom, we get it. Into the jungle already. I expect this to be on the rise for 11.4 on the horizon, when I expect jungle ganking to rise as the camp value is going to go down, so hard farmers are going to be less valuable. And I like Griffin is already jumping on it. Predator Gragas, you probably will start to see a lot more of this. Super powerful ganks. You want to get your boots really early, obviously, whenever you have Predator. So you can alter your clear path there and try and get those super early, but even without that, you can have highly effective early ganks with just the flash available.
Niles just utilizing that incredibly frustrating laning pattern that Gangplank has. Prime up the Grasp of the Undying, point and click Q, and just continue harassing your opponent the entire time here on this Gangplank. Now, I like the fact that you brought up about the junglers with the tankiness and gank spamming coming up and being more of an important factor. I saw some similar takes on Twitter of people expecting the jungle meta to just turn into these champions that don't require a high economy to function well. You can always be a meatball. You can always just make plays for your team. So 11.4, it will be fun to see how that plays out. And let's see. Niles says, roses are red, violets are blue. Be scared, Finn. I'm about to top gap you. Now, the meter and the rhyme isn't quite exact, but the man's intentions are very clearly displayed in front of us.
Yeah, I like it. We give it to him. You get big points for that one because he did it before the game. You better call your shots like this, Trash Talk, before the game. Here, big wave push in. That's what you kind of expect for this Gangplank, especially Niles. He always likes to use his passive super early on. You charge up your grass proc on the minions, go for Q spam, trial by fire over and over. You try and get your barrels placed really well in these brush, try and refresh it. It's actually one of the few dots that if you reapply it when it's already on, it does not just refresh. You get the full damage and it overlaps, and you get another entire duration for it, plus the full damage channel for it. Top side, though, we mentioned Iconic and Niles, hand in hand, Valentine's Day. His jungler is right up there as we see a little bit of a nap in mid.
Yeah, mid turned into not a whole lot for either side as they both CC'd each other around the same time, so the follow-up could not be there for either player, as Iconic will secure himself the Scuttle Crab on the top half of the map here. You can see that Griffin already got the bottom side Scuttle Crab himself, so slight farm difference between the two in that Griffin is 1 CS behind his opponent, but not really a big deal here.
Definitely not. Meanwhile, Scuttle Crab trade, no big diff in the map control either, and as he heads right back out, Predator boots have been acquired for Griffin, so he's got top clear. I really like how Iconic, we saw him actually cancel his recall, take the extra couple seconds to walk into the blue quadrant jungle and lay that ward for Niles. Because of that, those few extra seconds of thought, Flowers, Niles knows this gank is coming, he plays far back, he still gets ganked by it.
He still gets ganked. He still tanks a whole lot of damage. He gets pulled back even though he tries to flash. The ward didn't do a damn thing. First blood, CLG.
Iconic put all this thought into his Valentine's present. He was like, hey, man, I can't stay around. I'm not going to be there on the 14th, but you know what? I'm going to lay this ward deep in the jungle, right where Gragas is going to come for. Here you go. Full vision. Wards right now. Look at the... Oh, no, we already... we jumped ahead. Anyways, that's what Predator will do for you. I was hoping the replay was going to start when we watched him go across those wards by the blue buff, but we jump right ahead to the Predator. And no early flash from Niles. He flashes not outside of the chain, so Infernal Chain, yoink, get right back. And that is a kill. That's unfortunate, so definitely misplay there on the top for Niles for Golden Guardians. It will sting, but I'm sure Iconic will forgive you. Maybe he'll come back up there, give you some more love.
Well, it already messed up the poem a little bit that we read just a couple of minutes ago, but let's take a look at the bottom lane. That's where the camera finds itself right now, as Turtle and Smoothie have control over the lane. Quite a lot of minions built up for them. Yes, Turtle has a couple waves of a lead here, but Stixxay has plenty of extra minions pushing towards him that can alleviate that gap a little bit, as Griffin is walking up, shadowing this lane, making sure that he can protect his bottom lane duo as they shove this up. They might just even go for a dive.
Oh, yeah. Griffin is definitely looking for this one.
Okay. Taunt being used by the Galio, but the focus onto Stixxay, who's still staying alive. Smoothie's trying to get away. Turtle's grabbing a kill onto Stixxay. Turtle's running the wrong... Turtle's back underneath the turret, and it's a double kill for the Golden Guardians. Newbie gets that one done. Yes, Stixxay will fall, but CLG gets way too hyphy underneath that tier 1.
There's a lot of things to unpack with that. Okay, just at the most recent, though, did Newbie think that nobody hit Turtle, and that's why he flashed for it? Because there's no way Turtle's living there. But Newbie flashes in to punch him right in the head and get the kill. Let's take a look, though, because they started out, they focused on Stixxay, well done there. Okay, there's a decent chance that maybe nobody hit Turtle. You know, Newbie was looking up at his Leona kill. So I think that's what it was. Okay, it wasn't.
Yeah, I actually think he needed to do that. The flash was.
It was assisted there as well. And Turtle, yeah, he finishes off the kill there. Do you think he was going to be able to get out if he didn't flash in for that? Fair enough then. Newbie does get it. Double kill for him. He's a juiced up Galio.
He's ready to go, baby. The Galio with the 2-0 start here. Merc treads already completed. But as Newbie and Stixxay return to the bottom lane, we've got Griffin here again. Turtle gets taunted up, tries to walk back. The GP ulti gets used. Golden Guardians still trying to make the moves, man, but Griffin still hanging around means they cannot do it. Niles tries to help, but the help is not enough.
And it looks like we got a little bit of a gank towards mid lane, but nothing really gained at all. Finn going for a 1v1 top deck.
This is not good. That is a world ender. That is a tweet ender. Niles wants to walk away with the flash Q, and Finn says, why don't you win lane before you talk, and shuts him down.
Yeah, Finn does his talking with his sword, okay? Nice pretty poem you got there, Niles. Just does. Gives him the old slam right there in the top side. 1v1 flash advantage. He calls it early with the taunt because he knows Niles having flashed the last one with the Infernal Chain drawing him back up for the other kill. He's got flash advantage. He can follow anything that Niles tries to do as far as getting away. Does it there. Q flash, no problem. Hits the sweet spot. Gets the kill for himself. 2 now for the Aatrox. Despite that, though, early rotation up from GG will get them Rift Herald.
I honestly love when pros trash talk. I think it makes it so much more fun. But that tweet is turning a little tragic for Niles here. He's still having perfect farm compared to his opponent. They're dead even in that. But the early interference from the jungler followed up by the solo kill from his opponent means Finn is feeling comfy up here in the top half of the map. And CLG is putting in some work on the bottom lane tier 1 as well, grabbing themselves some more money through the turret plates. Despite the rather goofy dive they did earlier, CLG still has over a 1,000 gold advantage.
You got to be careful with those goofy dives, because remember, we came into this with CLG. They keep on getting early gold leads, and yet still goose egg up there for the win column. So it's a similar story now. They have this early lead, but you have to be careful about goofy dives, goofy plays. Objectives here going back over to the side of Golden Guardians. They are going to be able to reset first and grab up this dragon as well. So Iconic looks like he should be able to finish it and add the dragon to the Rift Herald here. Plenty of neutrals picked up for the Golden Guardians. That also means with the activation of Rift Herald, still plenty of time with turret plates on, they could also smooth out that gold difference and be right back in it.
Well, one thing that's really tragic for Niles in this game, as we were watching what was happening in the Drake pit, the wave is frozen in favor of Finn. Niles could not even approach the lane, or he would have just got killed solo by the World Ender and the burst and the combos of Finn again. So Niles had to walk into the jungle, clear the Krugs, lose half his HP doing it because he doesn't have any jungle Omnivamp, he's not a jungler, and then go back to base again and now come back to lane a second time, and it'll finally be pushing back towards him level 7 versus level 9.
And honestly, right there, with Finn walking so far out, he was like, where is this guy? He's mad right now. He hasn't been to the lane in so long because he's got it zoned at his tower here. And now, 2-level lead. Infernal Chain hits, but call your jungler, help you push this one right in.
Okay, Finn goes in, grabs some fast damage, but with Iconic showing up, Niles will survive this one. Still down below half HP. They really want to get this minion wave shoved in. They cannot afford to have Niles sit in the Krug camp again for another 2.5 waves, waiting for this to reset. So good job there, Iconic rotating up, trying to help Niles stabilize things here a little bit, as CLG is coming back to the bottom lane. Tier 1 turret making a 4-man play this time. Stixxay's getting away, Newbie's tanking it up, Griffin still somehow alive. WildTurtle falls again. CLG, you gotta stop doing these tier 1 dives.
Yeah, Flowers, we needed a warning on the last one for the goofy dives there. How does Stixxay get out of this alive? They spend flashes to get on him. Turtle has both summoners up right now. That was just such an instant turnaround. Keep a look at the peel from Newbie on Galio. Yeah, as Stixxay, oh my god, what a beautiful ult. It was ult into flash there. Then they're able to lock him down. Newbie gets it. They teleport in Syndra as AblazeOlive is able to get the counter here. Just really, really, really risky stuff for CLG now. They have already started to give back the gold lead. Top side of the map, Finn is thinking, okay, everything's fine, right, guys? Bottom side of the map is starting to catch fire, but the Aatrox lead is still intact.
Okay, CLG, if they stop forcing these unforced errors, then they should be in a good spot.
They're the ones forcing them. That doesn't count as a forced error.
Well, yeah, they are forced errors. I'm sorry, my brain's turning to spaghetti after those 2 dives. That's my bad. Just Drizzle some salsa.
Usually it's not. Usually it is caused an unforced error because your opponents are not forcing you to make it.
Right. So CLG needs to stop forcing these forced errors and just allow the natural advantages of the top side of the map to move forward. See, there's a reason you're the smart guy, man. You were telling me between the breaks, and I always say that stuff, but there's a reason I say it.
You had a Galaxy Brain prediction, okay? You had a Galaxy Brain prediction on the Aatrox lock-in. I'm not letting you get off with that. All right. Your point is, though, they really need to right the ship on bottom side. They had such a big CS lead, such a big, tremendous bottom side advantage also to complement their Aatrox side, and they still have the big CS lead with these dives. You know, that's one thing that does carry over. Even if you mess up the dive, diving on the big minion waves, they are denying Stixxay the farm. And Turtle has been able to get to his shield bow, so he's a bit safer for some of the dive-ins. But they do need to coordinate these because a lot of CLG's comp, again, is about a Leona plus Gragas engaging for the Samira, setting them up with so much CC to pop off and really get a good ultimate and stick in there for the team fight.
Okay, Stixxay and Newbie have been doing a great job down here in the bottom lane defending against CLG's attempted plays. Turtle still does have quite a serious CS lead over his opponent down here. 35 farm up above that Kaisa. Back in mid lane, things are even. Top lane, Niles still only 10 behind despite the couple of deaths. Team fight breaking out here in the bottom side. River Smoothie tanking up at the start, but the Leona ulti will not find anything on the back end. AblazeOlive having to flash away. Finn has arrived here with a World Ender. The heal to keep him hasted up. He wants to continue the chase. He flashes forward to make it happen. AblazeOlive still under fire, but the Q2 plus auto attack takes him down, and Finn is on a killing spree.
Finn had to come down and put out the fire. Stride breaker completed. What a sweet flash stride breaker right there. Chains up AblazeOlive long enough for him to finish it off. He even is going to be able to get back in time for his minion wave at the tower. He only loses out one minion up there. Finn taking matters into his own hands. Let's see if CLG can make his efforts rewarded here. Dragon should be picked up as Turtle finishes off the tower too.
Finn is tired of having a winless record. He wants to win this damn game of League of Legends, and he is doing his darndest to make it happen. Now, CLG going after this Drake here, wanting to prevent Golden Guardians from stacking up a second one. No problem getting that done right there. And there you go, 4-3 game with a 2,000 gold lead for CLG 15 minutes in. Let's take another look at our replay of how that bottom river fight happened.
Yeah, I like the opener from Golden Guardians, but as soon as teleport pops and they see Zoe roaming down, they're like, oh, right, teleport difference on top side. And honestly, I thought AblazeOlive was good with his Scatter the Weak, but they do not hesitate to flash right after him. Finn is saying, I'm getting paid for my teleports. These are not free top lane teleports, okay? I am definitely going to get paid. Takes down the mid lane kill there, allows them to get the double objective pickup afterwards as well. So I really like the brute force here from him. Not hesitating to flash. He had just completed his stride breaker. He knew he could close the distance, got the slow onto him, and has really righted the ship for CLG's mid game here, despite some of the early dive attempts that have gone awry for them. Golden Guardians, though, they have a very defensive lineup, as we went over in Champ Select, and a lot of possibilities for counter engage. Now is when you start to see those, Galio ultimate coming in. Gangplank still farming up, so barrel change not too scary quite yet, but it does have decent amount of setup there with the slow from the ultimate. And it is going to be on GG to outplay in some of their defensive capabilities.
Okay, so this is around the part of the game where CLG fans start to get nervous, because this is around the part of the game where CLG, even when they've been ahead, starts to lose control of that lead. So Kobe, particularly in this game, 3 minutes away from the Baron spawn, they've got the even Drakes, they've got a slight gold lead. What is the play for CLG to convert this one into a win?
Regardless of how nervous you get, they still need to keep up the pressure because they don't want to get outscaled. They don't want to have to face full items, Gangplank, Kaisa, Graves, and Syndra late game. It's going to be too much damage to deal with, even though they don't have a lot of CC setup. At that point, when you have that much damage, the threat of those long-range barrel change, Syndra stun, and Galio ultimate is going to be enough for Golden Guardians. So yes, you get a little bit nervous with some of the early failed dives, but you still have to have confidence in your Gragas, in your Leona, and especially in Finn and some of these flanks teleport opportunities for him. And continue to try and make these picks onto the Golden Guardian members while they are still spread out. Because if Golden Guardians get to group up, that's when, you know, brush advantage and you have to walk towards them. It might get a little bit dicey. So don't overforce on your tower dives, but keep on establishing your vision through the river and looking for picks.
Newbie, Iconic, and Stixxay all up here on the top half of the map. Turtle's going to find Iconic there, steps away from some of the damage. Iconic has to use his ulti to get a little bit of extra distance, make sure that CLG can't collapse and go for a punish on that one. Pings coming out from CLG, suggesting they want to go for a play in that top side. Rift Herald still in Griffin's inventory, looking to use that one for the second time. Newbie rotates over and just takes the blue buff to make sure that Finn can't get it on the steal attempt.
TY4 leash. Thank you very much for the support, Galio, who's got 2 kills to his name, the kill leader on the team. I deserve the blue buff. Thank you very much, Finn. CLG, though, this is what we're looking for, the risk management. They don't overforce tower dives, but they do keep pressing ahead. They do keep punishing Golden Guardians. So WildTurtle picks up the second outer tower here for themselves. Mid, the only one left to turn their attention towards. They can continue to push out side lanes before moving towards it, and then you just wait. RJS with blue buff can throw out these bubbles without any sort of cost. Super low cooldown and plenty of mana regen already. Also has the big burst with Ludens completed, and even a stopwatch if Golden Guardians try and make a counterplay. You know, Zoe can sometimes get punished when you are forward at these poke opportunities. So it's nice to have that stopwatch ready.
RJS continuing to try to fish for some poke here. Paddlestar won't quite find the mark, but Shelly is summoned up in the mid lane, and with the turret already below half HP, that should be a pretty easy turret take here for these guys. They might get it before she even loses HP on the headbutt, yeah. So it'll be super easy to escort Shelly forward onto this tier 2 turret. WildTurtle jumping in front here, just trying to zone Golden Guardians away, give the Rift Herald that room. 3/4 of the HP down, tier 2 turret under siege. Golden Guardians still without a single turret of their own, and a nice engage coming out from Griffin means they pick up Iconic on the back end of the play. CLG have things going their way here in the mid game.
Beautiful. And the point about not losing confidence in your Gragas, in your Leona, is so key there. Griffin goes for the flash play, even with the flash from Iconic. Perfect knockback, gets the kill after the secondary tower. So there is no resistance possible here for Golden Guardians in the Dragon pickup. They kept Syndra on top side. AblazeOlive does finish up the counter for Golden Guardians, getting some gold back for themselves. But steady hands, Flowers, for CLG thus far, like the recovery from them. Finn's teleport seems to have had a very positive effect on morale and a little bit of a steady hand here for the rest of the team. Much more calm play now thus far, and they've been able to press it ahead at a very decent pace.
And we're talking about Finn, man. The item screen just popped up. Sterix Gauge purchase completed. Now, granted, this is not the same survivability that you expected from Aatrox in the past with the Gore Drinker, where you had the entire health bar heal. After that item's nerfs, Finn has decided to switch it up a little bit, turn the Iron Spike whip into that Stride Breaker that we've been seeing him use so far. But still, the Sterix adds so much extra survivability and durability in these big fights, and it lets Finn go forward and play like the absolute Chad that he's been so far in this game. 3,000 gold lead. So I think they can do it.
I love the Stride Breaker right now with Gore Drinker getting nerfed. It's basically my replacement. Yeah, you don't get the crazy healing 1v9, drain tanking everybody, but the movement and the slow are so good for so many of these bruiser melee champions, and it's just packed with stats. Like this is actually just a super valuable item if you just look at the efficiency of it. So it's really replacing a lot of the melee builds here. Has become super popular, even on some of the more unorthodox champions that you wouldn't see those types of bruiser items on. So definitely super agree with it here, especially since this Aatrox is going to be a pivotal part for CLG. Now they've got all outer towers down. He's got to keep on pushing in these side lanes and threaten for the teleport flanks throughout the rest of the map. You see CLG doing a good job getting all lanes pushed up first, before they make their pick.
Okay, Golden Guardians have to continue trying to hold on to whatever portion of this map they can, man, because CLG are doing a good job moving forward, sitting down vision lines, making sure that it's dangerous for Golden Guardians to try to push out of their base anywhere. Nice scatter the weak finds, too. Turtle and Smoothie still safe enough to remove that control ward. They won't remove the one from the Raptor pit there. It does go invisible in time. But CLG have the minion wave colliding with the tier 2 turret on the top side. And that should turn this into a 5-1 turret game here for CounterLogic Gaming.
Deep breathing exercise here for CLG. Objective, objective, objective. They even got the kill. Really, really smoothed out this mid game. They don't want to let another one fumble past. Remember back to our checklist though, Flowers.
Yes, sir.
No ward on Baron. Get a ward on Baron, just in case, all right?
The checklist is one box, and there's no check mark in it so far. So
they've got wards all around the Baron. Oh, Smoothie! Smoothie. Nice. Get in there. All right.
Okay. Get rid of that
Human
thing.
wards count too. You can have a body.
Human ward count too. All right. We got a ward in the Baron pit. They know that there's not going to be anything going down up there. 2 minutes until this next Drake spawns. Golden Guardians, almost 4,000 gold behind their opponents, trying to shove out the waves a little bit of breathing room right now, Kobe. They're finally pushed out back towards the river again. They haven't seen water in about 10 minutes. Now they'll walk back through their own jungle and just continue trying to sweep out all this vision that CLG was laying down.
It's a desert out there. Oh, he's falling asleep in the desert.
Oh, Paddlestar coming in with the Leona follow-up, and Finn is already ready to go with the World Ender. Iconic gets out, half HP still remaining on him. Golden Guardians disengage that one, but it's once again CLG's jungle.
Yeah, and it's really threatening too, because since CLG have vision hold over Baron, as Golden Guardians, this is the exact situation we did not want the Golden Guardians composition to be in. They're supposed to be the ones with the presence on objectives first, so that CLG would have to go to them and they wouldn't have to face check, given that they don't have very good bodies to go face check with. So they use the Gangplank ultimate for vision just to check that one attempt from CLG and make a nice counter punch here for themselves. See if they can actually finish it off, cash in on some gold. That would be very nice in trying to set themselves up for another fight, because they don't have to risk the game on the next dragon. 30 seconds ahead of time, and they do have presence around it first, so you can look for your Syndra stuns, fish around. If one does not land, then try and disengage. Oh, the flank teleport.
Oh. It is starting up here with the Aatrox moving in. Finn wants to cut off the escape route. Paddlestar's going down. Leona ulti coming through. Finn eating some damage and wants to disengage it. Griffin with a nice flash engage. Stixxay's under threat with the damage and CC follow-up as Turtle goes behind enemy lines and takes out the enemy marksman. Niles is trying to stand and fight, but good night. The boy is already gone, man. Double kill over to WildTurtle. CLG pick up 3.
That's going to be a completion, and Zoe gets to pick up all the flashes as well, get right back over to that Baron. 20 seconds left on Stixxay and 30 plus on the solo lanes for Golden Guardians. Means that it's going to be an easy dragon pickup here for CLG, setting themselves up for Soul Point, and they can easily return to a calm Baron bait at the moment. Plenty of wards around it for them. They actually don't have to rush it at all, since there are double teleports on the side of Golden Guardians that could quickly answer. They get their reset off first. Here's another look, though. I like the start. Finn playing it cautiously. He backs out, and then when Griffin goes in for the flash, he gets the Galio ultimate out immediately, and just keep your eyes on WildTurtle. He went over to immediately swat down that Kaisa, slaps him up with the Samira. They get double kill there quickly. Nice job working around the possible counter engage that Golden Guardians have from CLG here, given the multiple forms of engage they have. They go layer 1, Finn starts it out, does not commit. Griffin flashes in, gets the Galio ultimate down. They all disengage and then pounce as soon as it hits.
All right, based on how this game is going so far, if CLG throws this game, there's been some sort of hex put on the organization, and they're just not capable of
What are you doing? Are you doing it right now?
You're cursing I am not doing that. I am not doing that. Remember that CLG fans would tell you that you can't have too much faith. So we'll see. We'll see. It's 4,500 gold lead. They've got 3 Drakes compared to the 1. They're in a good spot. And it's 27 minutes in, so they've managed to maintain that hold on the game throughout that mid-game phase that's been so treacherous for them in the past. Spirit Visage now completed for Finn as well, recognizing that the AP damage from the Syndra might be the only thing that could burst him down through his tank ability. As the TP's showing up, but the TP's not in time. AblazeOlive is already dead. Newbie tries to walk away, but he's stuck in the middle of everybody from CLG. Stixxay wants to go for an outplay, and yes, he makes it a 1-for-1. Importantly, he takes down the enemy jungler. So that means that if CLG does want to go for the Baron, they will not have the smite to secure it. Iconic is still alive here on the map. Finn says, I don't care about fighting 1v2, I'll take you both on. Zoning Niles and Iconic away while the rest of CLG are working on the Baron. RJS moving over to help Finn and make sure these guys can't do anything about it. Smoothie's down to 400 HP. The Gangplank ulti bringing Baron lower and lower along with the DPS from the CLG players. Iconic still looking for an opportunity, an angle, some sort of a way to get in here, but the Baron is secured and they get the follow-up kill on the Niles too. Finn cashing in for even more money. What goes better with more money than more money, Kobe, as Iconic is going to find himself killed off now, too, if he ain't careful. Q3 hits the mark. Finn runs away. World Ender's got the movement speed, and he is gone.
Got to spend money to make money, baby. Finn is a Colossus, level 17. Niles was 15 when he died. I'm pretty sure he didn't get any more experience while dead, so he's got a 2-level lead on any Golden Guardians member. Finn is just hulking out in this game. Started off with a bubble here, though, from RJS. This one really well followed up there by Smoothie, and it is just good night to AblazeOlive. So easy chase down from CLG. Really good heads-up play, though, for Stixxay. Veteran player. He focuses on the enemy jungler. He said, maybe I can give my team some sort of chance of stealing it away if I trade my life and take down Griffin. Not going to be the case, though, because Finn locks all doors. He's now level 18, maxed out.
Holy cow.
The silver lining for Golden Guardians, Finn can't gain any more levels.
When that is the silver lining, man, you know that things are a rough time. As Golden Guardians tries to defend, AblazeOlive not going to be hit. That was not the right engage. Griffin, he sees an angle, but he didn't calculate it correctly. He gets that one marked wrong on the math test, and he ends up running it down in the enemy base.
He started partying too early, Flowers. It is still early in the afternoon. Yeah, Finn is super strong, and you guys got Baron, but he went full steam ahead inside the enemy base, flashing forward, misses the ultimate, no combo there. Now CLG's Baron push is turned around on them, and Golden Guardians, how far will you chase?
Well, Newbie tried to go for a Justice Punch for extra distance to get that Blast Cone for the flank, but the Justice Punch accidentally collided with the terrain, so he was a second behind where he otherwise would have been. So they can't get there in time to really turn this one around just yet. And this is the problem in the draft, right? They don't have engage mechanisms. CLG just gets to walk away in a straight line, and there's not really a good way to catch them. And yeah, that's it. It's over. Finn's just going to sit on the Blast Cone.
Too tanky, man.
Oh yeah, he's too tanky.
They just walk away.
Okay, well now they actually have caught him out, but he dashes over the wall. He was tanky enough to live through that one. Golden Guardian still sticking around. They know that there's 4 seconds left on that Infernal Drake, and it's sold if Counter Logic Gaming gets it.
It's kind of dangerous walking around, too. Nice little snare.
Okay, Stixxay barely alive, 100 HP left and ready to go. Smoothie still chasing after him, looking to grab the kill, and there you go. Enemy AD carried down. Counter Logic Gaming with a double kill on their mid laner. WildTurtle just spinning around like crazy in the bottom lane as RJS goes over the wall with Finn right next to him. Make it a triple for RJS on the Zoe.
Make it a Dragon Soul as well. They can go back and pick up that Inferno, or they could end the game. Congratulations to CLG. There are only 2 Golden Guardians members standing between them and making it a tie at the bottom of the standings.
Oh man, CLG on the Nexus turrets, trying to end this when you still got 10 seconds before AblazeOlive is back into the picture. Newbie is down. We can say the same thing for Niles. CLG, nobody beats them 6 times in a row, baby. They are on the board to wrap up week 2.
This severely hurts CLG's chances of going 0-18. I'm glad that they will be able to break their loss streak. Finn here feeling pretty good about it. It looks like more relief from the team after the victory, though, than any sort of large celebration. Honestly, you know, that sort of feeling does build up when you have a loss streak like that, and so many things have been going wrong for this team. Remember, they still have yet to get Broxa over here. They had a lot of visa problems, more so than even the other teams in the LCS that took a long time getting their teams together. So you got a little bit of leeway there. They're making best with what they have, though, and they got a dub on the board today.
And I want to applaud Finn specifically, because earlier this weekend when we saw the video about CLG and their struggles so far and how they were winless, he was talking about his journey to get to CLG and how a lot of people like to make excuses of, oh, we don't have our whole roster, we're not at full strength. And he called out that he doesn't like that way of thinking because it doesn't get anything done, it's not constructive, and it's just up to them to do the best with what they've got. And what they've got is a raid boss Aatrox who absolutely made the difference this game. So, Finn, if you find yourself watching the replay of this for whatever reason, hell yeah, man. Well deserved. That was a ton of fun to watch. CLG finally on the board, and that is our last game of the weekend here. We're going to a break right now, but once we are back, we will hear from Finn in our Verizon post-game interview. Don't y'all go anywhere.